What's up, Capital District? What's up, YouTube? This is Capital District Court Block. I just wanted to make a quick video today. This video is dedicated to all the policy enforcers out there. Apparently, there's some questions that have been being asked lately about what it is I'm attempting to do in court. One of the amazing things that I realized about this information is that the higher you go up the ladder, they know more than the ones that are at the lower end of the ladder. And everything's compartmentalized to the point where, you know, the people at the lower end really don't understand what it is they're doing. And the people at the top just sit back and laugh at everyone. So I wanted to make a quick video because one of the things I realized is that I was going to come out with a video series bashing judges and lawyers and prosecutors because they understand that they don't have jurisdiction over people unless the people give it to them. And most of the time the people do give it to them because they think that that's their only choice. And the prosecutors and judges and lawyers are sitting back allowing policy enforcers to go out and risk their lives and the community's lives enforcing policy, not actual law, and acting like it's normal and it's okay. That's kind of sick, because you see all these videos on all the news clippings and things of Ferguson and these kids getting killed, and I mean all the police encounters. I mean, people are getting shot, for not using a directional because they're challenging the cop when they get pulled over or whatever. I mean, seriously, that's sick. That's sick and twisted, actually, that people would allow other people to put their own lives at risk, and they sit back and watch it and allow it like it's okay just to get more money. Because that's what they're doing. Like, even if we end up suing these policy enforcers over hurting us, the courts are still getting airtime. They're still getting play. Game on. That's why they call it a court. So they don't care. That's sick. So I wanted to make a quick video to explain to all the policy enforcers that, you people are pretty much sleeping with the enemy. I mean, if you know this information and you're still going out and doing what you're doing to people, then you're just as sick as them. But if you watch videos like this and other people's videos, I mean, there was one time I was told by a policy enforcer, he's, not the worst policy enforcer, he's a little more noble than most policy enforcers because he worked his way up to the point where he deals with harm or loss. But I was told by a policy enforcer one time that I deserve jail or an insane institution. And he knows who he is. And we haven't talked in quite some time. And, I thought we could have been, we probably still could be, but we could have been really good friends. I mean, he's a really great guy. I thought that, I would have been able to talk to him about this information and, come to some sort of an agreement about it. But I was literally told that I deserve jail or an insane institution. It's a little discouraging, when someone thinks you're crazy and all you do is really care. And, there's a lot of people out there that deserve jail or an insane institution. It seems like it's growing more and more and more. So, I mean, we all can't be crazy, There's the Hilo courthouses, there's the Mark Stevenses, there's the I Ams, there's the Sovereign Livings, there's endless people out there that are on this information that get the fact that if I don't have the right to tell someone what to do, then who the heck are you to tell me what to do? And that's not in a standoffish way. It's not in a negative way. It's in a real life way. It's in a neighborly way. It's in a no harm or loss way. That's what real law is. I'm a lawful person, okay? I'm not a legal person. I'm a lawful person. Lawful people are real. They're real people that have needs. Legal people are fictional characters that have been created, okay? There's a big difference between legal and lawful. So, I wanted to make a quick video. I'm going to start making videos like this from now on. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I'm not afraid. I've been conditioned for a long time now not to be afraid. I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And, you know, I could care less about courts, authority. I could care less about this stuff, but I get it. So it's my moral obligation to help other people get it, especially when these 6 satanic courts, it is satanic, I'm sorry, there's either good or there's evil here. If you're here long enough and you have time to study things, there's either good or there's evil. Your heart tells you which one you're gravitated towards, basically. Your heart does, okay? So my heart tells me that I could care less about causing anyone else harm or loss. You know, I'm a productive member of society. You know, I produce things. I work hard. You know what I mean? It's easy to sit behind a bench in a black robe and shake your finger at people and take their property. You know, it's easy to use guns and tasers and force and backup. It's easy to do that stuff to gain power, you know? So that's where I'm coming from. And I'm going to keep saying it. Right is right. I'm on some right information and some good information, and the bad people out there, the ones that want to use force to get their way, they don't want that information out there. So this video is also to people, you know, you better duplicate and try to be your own nail that sticks out, because we're all going to get slammed and hit harder and harder and harder. This stuff isn't going to get any easier for anyone. The supposed laws are going to get more and more and more, and you know, the equipment these policy enforcers are going to use to come after us are going to get greater and greater. I mean, so you see it, militarized MRAP vehicles. I mean, give me a break. It's time to wake up, man. Policy enforcers, it's time to wake up. You guys are being used as pawns. Okay, you guys are being used as the ones at the lower end of the ladder to go out and rustle up all the money. Wake up. Wake up. You know, we're enlightened people. You know, we understand it. The people that are making these videos aren't making them for their health. You know, I'm not gaining anything from this, but my sovereignty. I mean, I might as well say it. Sovereignty simply means self-governed. You know, if I don't have the right to tell you what to do, who are you to tell me what to do? As long as I'm not causing harm or loss. So I hope everyone's well. This is the way the videos are going to be coming at you from now on. I mean, I'm down here in my basement. It's nice and quiet. No, there's no more fear. You know what I mean? This is a fear-based system. That's how it's run. So stop being afraid, people. I know court's scary. I mean, the first time I went to court, I was scared out of my mind. I wish I could have recorded my experience. I went to the very first video I posted on this channel was Capital District Court Block Challenge Jurisdiction. It was in Skodak Town Court. Now, I got pulled over by a Harrington, policy enforcer Harrington, and he gave me 6 tickets. 6. So I ended up getting 2 more tickets the following day or a few days later by policy enforcer Lansing. So I had to go to court the first time for the 6 tickets. They postponed it on me and said, you got to go to Colony and settle that ticket before you can come back and settle this ticket. So they postponed it for 2 weeks. So I got 2 tickets a few days later after I got the first 6 tickets. So I had to go to court. My court date was the following week from my first appearance for the 6 tickets. So I had 3 court dates in 3 weeks in a row. So the first time I went, I got postponed to Colony. Never went to Colony. I was going to tell them I was in the process of suing them, and there was a conflict of interest, and I'd like to proceed forward with these tickets. But when I went back the second time for the 2 tickets from Lansing, the prosecution wasn't there, and the judge didn't remember me. He didn't remember that I had gotten postponed the previous week for 2 weeks. So I proceeded, with the tickets. He proceeded, so I tried to proceed, and I was ready. I asked, what evidence had been entered in as proof of jurisdiction, and he was fumbling around and answering questions that I wasn't asking, and at the time I didn't really know what was going on, but I was getting somewhere. So I wish I could have recorded this. So you guys would have loved this one. So I went into court and I started challenging jurisdiction, and I didn't understand that you're not supposed to talk over the judge. You're supposed to let him speak. You're supposed to be respectful. So I was slamming this guy. I went in and I was like, what proof of jurisdiction has been entered in, by the prosecution? And he was like, it's your assumption that jurisdiction hasn't been entered. And he tried saying the ticket was the jurisdiction. And, he ended up having to have the clerk go and get one of the bailiffs. And the bailiff had to come over and literally tell me to shut up, that I was talking over the judge. Oh, man, this would have been such a great recording. The judge ended up yelling at me and kicking me out of the courtroom and telling me that he'll contact me for a trial date. So I went the first week, got postponed 2 weeks, went the second week, got kicked out of court. I thought I was done. They must have thought I was going to be afraid and never come back and end up, give me a warrant for my arrest or do some tricky court stuff. But instead, I had a return slip from the first week that I went. So I went back the third week, and this is the first recording that you can hear, the challenge jurisdiction. I went back the third week, and you hear what happened. He literally gave me the floor. I went from not being able to proceed with the tickets because I had tickets somewhere else, getting kicked out of the courthouse, being told I'd be contacted for a trial date, and then eventually the third time I went back, I was given the floor because it's not the judge's responsibility to explain jurisdiction. It's the prosecution's. So when the prosecution wasn't there, and I was slamming him, I was, you're being unresponsive, Your Honor. Could you please answer my question? And he got mad. I mean, this guy comes out in a cane, but if you get under his skin, he got riled up. He had energy. But when I went back the third time, he gave me the floor. He let me ask my questions because everything's being recorded. They know eventually that, they have people that they have to answer to as well. So this has been an interesting journey so far. So I got these tickets in April, and I'm not even getting a decision on whether I'm going to have a trial until October, like 6 months later. Seriously, guys, I went in saying that I'd plead guilty. I want to plead guilty and be done with this today and pay my fine. Here, you can have my money. And all I did was ask about jurisdiction, and we're 6 months later? Seriously? So, I mean, it's still pending. It's still pending. Doesn't make sense. I wanted to pay my fines and be done with it, but we're still in court. So, I'll let everyone know how this all pans out. Very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. So I hope everyone's well. I hope all the policy enforcers out there can see this video because, you're the ones that are being used as the pawn. And it's sad that that's the way it is. So I hope everyone can wake up to the fact that the courts are using everyone. They're using everyone to make their own pockets fatter. So until next time. Actually, probably what's today? Actually, there's court this evening. There's court tonight at 6 o'clock. There's court tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And there's court tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. So I'll keep everyone updated. talk to everyone soon. Peace.